You know, if there's something I have to give credit to for this series, is the fact that it's still able to bring something new, but at the same time, nothing original to the table, and make it entertaining. I mean, the past couple of episodes, they haven't been that hilarious, they haven't been that amazing, and I would even say this is an amazing episode, but I would be a liar if I didn't say it was a very funny episode. It just takes so much of just the typical, and a lot of times, that's not enough of a crutch to hold a series, just taking the typical and kind of twisting it. But there's something charming about the series, and when they really get their jokes right, they really get it right. The first half of this episode being a harem sleepover, it's just funny thinking about it. But when you see the execution where, oh, I know sister's leaving for the weekend, don't invite any girls over, and slowly but surely Akane, Guri, everyone comes over. But when you see the last one, and Aino opens the door, and he's just like, nope. Closes it, locks it, I was like, alright, we know we are in for one entertaining episode. And just the sleepover overall, I would have really liked if it was the entire episode, because I just thought the way they got the execution down was actually really entertaining, with just having these four personalities, I guess five if you include our main character, just in one room sleeping together, as they all have affection for one another, or at least they all have affection for our main character, even though some hide it more than others. I just thought it was entertaining, especially the bath scene when Akane walks in on Aino and she's just like, oh, this is heaven, I'm just gonna take Uri and, I'll leave you to your business. There was a lot to really enjoy, but I think, in my opinion, the funniest moment in the entire episode is when Aino wakes up from his slumber and all the girls are there, there's blood, the couch is ripped open with like frickin' swords, we have naked female, it's like he did a bunch of drugs, got drunk at a party, woke up and he had just like 4 naked women around him. And then his sister walks in. I just thought that was hilarious. It's very cheap comedy, don't get me wrong. It's very cheap, but it's funny to me. I really enjoyed just the overall banter. And I thought it was an interesting segue into the second half of the episode, though I didn't enjoy the second half as much as the first, just because the first was more funny to me. But the second half, it wasn't bad in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion. I mean, really, it was to serve I would assume, the conclusion to the penguin who, I keep getting, comments being like, can someone explain the penguin? Why is this penguin so obsessed with Aino's sister? I have no idea. He's just a penguin who wants to have sex with Aino's sister. It's anime, it's Japan, you can't ask certain questions, and this is one of them. But I thought it was interesting how they handled her arc and kind of concluding she was able to overcome this penguin, and she was able to do it by herself for once. But I mean, just the battle with the angel versus him, the series at the core, it somehow manages to top itself with its stupidity every so often. It's not like every single episode gets more insane or more brilliant. I mean, brilliant I use in quotations, but it's not like every single episode is doing it. In the early days, in the early episodes, the first 6 episodes, sure it was. But it's still impressive that it still has some sort of charm every so often on. It will sprinkle something that's so stupid that it works and it just kind of mocks other series, and I quite like it for that. I think just overall, this series, I could completely understand if people watch this series and are like, I don't understand what the hell's funny about this, I just think it's so stupid, it's so over the top. There's plenty of series that I've watched where I'm just like, I don't understand this comedy whatsoever. But this style of comedy, it's for me. It cracks me up, it makes me entertained, and even when they pull away and they try to do more serious kind of oh, the sister wants to be a part of the harem too, it's like, yeah, it is what it is. But they somehow managed to find a kind of middle ground, so even the people like me, who are more in it for the comedy, we're not completely bothered by the more serious stuff, the more kind of I don't really care that Guri's kind of contemplating what she feels for, our main character. But at the core, they do have a middle ground that I think if you're in it for the more serious stuff, or if you're in it for the more comedy stuff, there is a nice middle ground that no matter what per episode, everyone kind of meets in the middle at the end of the day. This is a series that I'm really excited to see how it ends. I mean, there's nothing they can do an end goal. At the core, the fact that we got a kiss between Akane and Aino at the end and he willingly did it, that's as much development I think we're going to get between that relationship. And really at the core, I just want to see if they're going to do anything really, really stupid. I think the penguin has to be the dumbest thing the show has done, but I'll be really interested if they introduce something before this series ends at episode 12 that can top that stupidity. If they do, I'll be giving some major props to that. But at the core, solid episode. It was quite funny and it kind of reminded me of some of the earlier episodes when it was just more stuck on the comedy ways, which I appreciated. And once again, the art and animation was on point. I mean, just the overall facial reactions, Akane has to steal a show in my opinion. It's just on point, and if it wasn't for this level of detail in the art and animation, this wouldn't be nearly as funny as it is. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you love the episode? Did you hate it? And what was your favorite moment in the episode? Because that coach scene at the very end of the first half of the episode had to be my favorite part of the episode. But let me know yours, and before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.